When the crowds grew, Jesus said, "This generation is an evil generation. It looks for a sign, but no sign will be given to it except Jonah's sign. Just as Jonah became a sign to the people of Nineveh, so the human one will be a sign to the people of this generation. The queen of the south will rise up at the judgment with this people of this generation and condemn them, because she came from a distant land to hear Solomon's wisdom. And one greater than Solomon is here. The people of Nineveh will rise up at the judgment with this generation and condemn it, because they changed the hearts and lives that Jonah's preaching, and one greater than Jonah is here." People don't light a lamp and then put it in a closet or under a basket. Rather, they place the lamp on top of a lampstand so that those who enter can see the light. Your eye is the lamp of your body. When your eye is healthy, your whole body is full of light. But when your eye is bad, your whole body is full of darkness. Therefore, see to it that the light in you isn't darkness. If your whole body is full of light with no part darkened, then it will be as full of light as when a lamp shines brightly on you. While Jesus was speaking, a Pharisee invited him to share a meal with him. So Jesus went in and took his place at the table. When the Pharisee saw that Jesus didn't ritually purify his hands by washing them before their meal, he was astonished. The Lord said to him, "Now you Pharisees clean the outside of the cup and platter, but your insides are stuffed with greed and wickedness. Foolish people, didn't the one who made the outside also make the inside? Therefore give to those in need from the core of who you are, and you'll be clean all over." How terrible for you legal experts. How terrible for you Pharisees. You give a tenth of your mint, rue, and garden herbs of all kinds while neglecting justice and love for God. These you ought to have done without neglecting the others. How terrible for you. You are like... How terrible for you Pharisees, you love the most prominent seats in the synagogues and respectful greetings in the marketplaces. How terrible for you. You are like unmarked graves, and people walk on them without recognizing it. One of the legal experts responded, "Teacher, when you say these things, you're insulting us too." Jesus said, "How terrible for you legal experts too. You load people down with impossible burdens, and you refuse to lift a single finger to help them. How terrible for you. You built memorials to the prophets whom your ancestors killed. In this way you testify that you approve of your ancestors' deeds. They killed the prophets, and you built memorials. Therefore God's wisdom has said, I will send prophets and apostles to them, and they will harass and kill some of them. As a result, this generation will be charged with the murder of all the prophets since the beginning of time. This includes the murder of every prophet, from Abel to Zechariah, who was killed between the altar and the holy place. Yes, I'm telling you, this generation will be charged with it. How terrible for you legal experts. You snatched away the key of knowledge. You didn't enter yourselves, and you stood in the way of those who were entering." As Jesus left there, the legal experts and Pharisees began to resent him deeply and ask him pointed questions about many things. They plotted against him, trying to trap him in his words. When a crowd of thousands upon thousands had gathered so that they were crushing each other, Jesus began to speak first to his disciples. "Watch out for the yeast of the Pharisees, I mean the mismatch between their hearts and lives. Nothing is hidden that won't be exposed, nor is anything secret that won't be made known and brought to the light. Therefore, listen carefully. Whatever you have said in the darkness will be heard in the light, and whatever you have whispered in the rooms deep inside the house will be announced from the rooftops." I tell you, my friends, don't be terrified by those who can kill the body, but after that can do nothing more. I'll show you whom you should fear. Fear the one who, after you have been killed, has the authority to throw you into hell. Indeed, I tell you, that's the one you should fear. Aren't 5 sparrows sold for 2 small coins? Yet not one of them is overlooked by God. Even the hairs on your head are all counted. Don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows. I tell you, anyone who acknowledges me before humans, the human one will acknowledge before God's angels, and the one who rejects me before others will be rejected before God's angels. Anyone who speaks a word against the human one will be forgiven, but whoever insults the Holy Spirit won't be forgiven.